Seminole family, what is up? We are on 863 Seminole TV, and I am the man with the plan, your boy, POLK.
Turn right onto Cole Avenue.
And y'all hear my GPS in the background. But, if you don't know, which you definitely know by now, the game was canceled.
In 1.1 miles, turn left.
Possibly
onto Cuneo
postponed.
Road.
We'll see. If Clemson agrees to that. So here's the issue. Here's the thing, guys. Because there's a lot of talk, which is really funny. Here are the facts. Here are the facts of what happened. All right. Clemson had a backup offensive lineman. I believe that's the position he played, who was symptomatic for an entire week. Symptomatic now. Now, I'll say this. He tested negative. I believe they say Wednesday that the player tested negative for COVID. Now, I'm just going to put it pretty bluntly, because this is just how I feel. But I understand that when it comes to football and big dollars, people's integrity and what people would normally do get pushed to the side. By the letter of the law, Dabo Swinney and the Clemson staff did nothing wrong. The player tested negative. But my question comes, when does common sense take over for these coaches? Not just Dabo, but it's happening all over the place. When does common sense take over? Okay. Is any test 100% foolproof? No, it's not. I don't care what you're testing or being tested for. There can always be issues. There can always be bad tests. I mean, there's stories all the time of pregnancy tests that person tests that they weren't pregnant and come to find out they were, or that you are pregnant and that you're not. You know, that's just one example that I'm bringing out there. My point is, there's tests there's faulty tests. There's all kind of things. By the letter of the law, they did nothing wrong. But if the player was showing symptoms, if he was symptomatic throughout the week.
At the next light, turn left.
If he was symptomatic throughout the week, and he's not, this player is not even a starter. Dabo couldn't say, you know what, man, as a precaution, I know you tested negative, but as a precaution, man, you're showing symptoms. I think everybody by now should know what the COVID symptoms are. Loss of taste, loss of smell, sore throat. If he was having those symptoms, at what point does a Dabo Swinney, a grown man who's supposed to be in charge of these players' safety and is supposed to care about their well-being more so than winning football games, is what he's supposed to be. At what point does that man say, you know what, man, you're symptomatic, we're going to sit you out. If you pass the final test, we'll work you in some snaps in the game if at all possible. But it's more important that we take precautions. I know you tested negative, but you are showing signs. Didn't do that, did he? Instead, the kid practices the entire week. Yes, he tested negative, I believe, on Wednesday, and I believe on Friday, or if not, Friday or Saturday. It was either this morning or Friday, he tests positive. Coincidentally, he tests positive after showing symptoms all week. It's not a coincidence. It is what it is. And FSU's medical staff said they were not comfortable okaying the game. This wasn't really a Mike Norvell call. This was, you had a player who was in contact with the entire team the entire week while showing symptoms, and we do not feel comfortable letting our players play this game. Clemson's rebuttal, which is even more hilarious. Clemson's rebuttal is, let's reschedule the game for Sunday or Monday, because COVID just goes away after a day or two. Right.
Go past this light, then use the left 2 lanes to continue onto H2 South toward Honolulu.
Because coronavirus, after a day or two, won't show any signs. Because the kid that just tested positive, who was around his entire team, yeah, those guys are going to be safe in a day or two. Does that even make sense? Serious question. Does that even make sense?
Miles, take exit 5 toward Mililani.
Okay, GPS, shut up while I'm talking to my peoples. So those are the facts, guys. Now, there's a lot of my own opinions on how they handled that situation. But the raw facts are a symptomatic player who practiced all week, tested positive on Friday or Saturday. Don't have that exact date.
In 2 miles, take exit 5 toward Mililani.
And the game has been postponed, or what FSU has requested the game to be postponed to December 12th. Clemson offered a day or two after today, like that made any sense. And here we are now. Clemson media is trying to spin it one way. Listen, man, let's just keep it a buck, like I like to say. Let's keep it a buck. FSU been getting their brains beat in all week. Why the hell they chose to quit today? The fact is, there's 2 real reasons why FSU, I know it ain't running from no game. One, they've been getting whooped all week. If you was gonna run from the game, you would have called the game off earlier in the week. You wouldn't have waited till the morning of the game to do that. And 2, FSU can't afford not to play this game. It's just, the fact is what the facts are. FSU can't afford not to play this game. There was just an article out on the dire situations that Florida State is in financially due to COVID, not being able to fill a stadium. And FSU needs every last. You think FSU wants to give out refunds for this game? Yeah, I'd probably say they didn't. So, no, if FSU could play, I believe they would play. Well, we can play. You know, that's another thing that's really kind of bugging me. The phone keeps sliding. About this situation is Clemson, you're the ones who did this, man. Don't get mad at Florida State because they want to protect their players. And they decided we're not playing this game. Blame your coach for knowing he had a symptomatic player. And instead of saying, you know what, we're going to take precautions. And you know what, you may have passed one test, but you're showing symptoms, man. We're going to take some precautions. Like, isn't that the adult thing to do?
Turn left onto Mayhala Parkway.
FSU came with all their players healthy for the most part in terms of COVID. Now, we know we have other injuries and whatnot. We're talking strictly COVID. FSU came with their players healthy, ready to play. Clemson didn't, but somehow this gets spun that Florida State is ducking. Come on, man. FSU wasn't ducking nothing. Are we a good football team? No. But FSU wasn't ducking this. FSU been getting smacked all year. Which leads me, that's a different conversation. The more I even think about the fact that FSU hasn't even competed in some of these games, it's a different conversation. But Florida State wasn't ducking. Now, I'll say this. Now that all the facts are put to the side, thanks, sweet baby Jesus, I didn't have to sit down and watch this game.
1.9 miles.
I'll say that wholeheartedly. Thank sweet baby Jesus. I did not have to sit down and watch today's heart-breaking, mind-shattering loss, which is what it was gonna be. So from that, Dabo, I am grateful. But just take onus of what it is. Clemson hasn't taken the COVID situation serious anyway. During the summer, wasn't the whole team ravaged by COVID? And Trevor Lawrence came down with it during the season. Has any team been hit harder with COVID than Clemson? They had like 30 players or something in the offseason. It was like half the roster or something crazy like that. Hell, I don't know. Point being, you would think after the offseason and they got through that, you would think they would have took the situation more seriously. But see, Clemson's reached that level of program where it's all about the wins now. We'll ignore other things if we can guarantee wins on the football field. That's what it seems like to me. Because had you took the situation seriously, they'd be
at the next stop sign.
Y'all be up
right.
42-0 right now in whatever quarter it would be. In all seriousness, if you took the situation serious, we'd be watching the game right now. Instead, we're not, because you let a symptomatic player practice. Point blank. Period.
At the stop sign, turn
But
right onto
I didn't have to
North
put
Street.
myself through that bullshit today, so I'm good. Got a birthday party to tend to. And who knows what else I'll try to get in today, man. This is the first Saturday in a long time that I'm not gonna be depressed. I may or may not still get drunk, who knows? But it'll be a happy drunk. This is a great thing. It's a great thing. I mean, man. But on a serious note, it's kind of crazy that the rate that somebody's getting is like I don't know. I don't know if to be honest with you, I don't know if the season's gonna get finished. If you look at all the cancellations, all the postponements, there's a lot of games, man. And I'd wonder if at all we're even gonna finish this season, man. And I think, honestly, man, when you look back on this season, you're going to look back on it as a good exhibition-style season. I don't think you can take anything that happened this season seriously. With the number of opt-outs and the transfer portal's going crazy. The opt-outs are going crazy, not just for Florida State, but for a ton of teams across the country.
Go past this light.
Then we're canceling games and postponing games. I mean, how do you even determine a Heisman winner? Seriously. How do you determine a Heisman winner? How do you determine who would be in the playoff when the Big Ten schools are going to finish with 6 games, 7 games maybe? Same thing with the Pac-12 schools. You're going to finish with 6, 5, 6, 7 games. I mean, college football as a whole, man, is really in an odd space. But now I'm just going on and on and going over nothing. The fact is, we didn't have to see a tumultuous destruction. I don't even know if I'm using those big words right, but I'm trying to sound smart. Tumultuous, devastating massacre of the Seminoles. But not because of anything that the Seminoles did, and it has everything to do with what Clemson did and did not do. So let's make that clear. Regardless of what BS Clemson media and the school try to spin. But, I mean, they are in South Carolina, and let's be real, we know how they think up there. Hey, but anyway, it's your boy, POLK, 863 Seminole TV. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday, because I know I am. Stay classy, Seminoles. Stay sick, Clemson fans. You guys have a great rest of your day. We OUTCHEA, baby. Go Noles.